Hi Internet, it's me, Pan42 Tarot, but you can call me Pan. Welcome to this week's reading. I am sorry I have been absent for the last couple of weeks. It was my birthday and then work was really super crazy, so I didn't have time to get to you guys, but I am back with this reading, which is going to be all about Empress energy, which is all about like mothering, nurturing, self-care. It's all about the feminine energy of being able to love and care for and nurture. So we're gonna do a little spread about that energy and see what comes out for you guys, okay? So these are your 4 piles. I'm using 4 different decks, and I picked flowers because it's a very mother-like energy. I know that they're like kind of the male and female part of the flower, but yeah, they're very pretty. So these are the piles. I'm gonna show each of the flowers to you and the Empress card to draw you guys in, okay? So pile number 1, you have this beautiful daisy. At least it was a daisy. It's a dried daisy. She's beautiful. And this is what your Empress looks like. She's very shiny. Let's see if she'll focus there. Your Empress card and your daisy. Okay, so that's pile number 1. Pile number 2, you guys have this really cool crazy flower. This is actually from my garden. It's the flower of a green onion plant, which I had never seen before until it happened, and it was pretty cool. So that's this flower, and your Empress looks like this. Oop, there you go. Cool. So that's you, pile number 2s. I'm gonna put your flower down here. Pile number 3s, you have this beautiful little purple flower that also came from my garden. It actually fell out of a tree. It's like it was a weed that turned into a tree in my neighbor's backyard, and now it drops flowers all over my garden. But it's still pretty, even though it's a weed. And this is your Empress card. Let's see if I can get them both. There we go. That's pile number 3. And pile number 4, you guys have this beautiful rose. Roses are my favorite flower, so I have a lot of dried ones. This one's half dried because it was a birthday present, so it's really pretty. I like this one. And your Empress looks just like this. Let's see, there you go. This is a new deck to me. She's a lovely deck. I'm excited for you guys to see her. So this is group number 4s. That's group number 4. I'm gonna put your flower down here because she's so big and pretty. There. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these out for you to see just for a second or two. Yeah, so I will see all of you at your individual readings, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're gonna be talking about the Empress today, and I'm really excited about this one. I like the Empress card. Yeah. So, I will see all of you at your readings, okay? All right. Bye, you guys. Hi, group number ones. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are talking about the Empress energy. Yay! So the Empress, this is the Empress that drew you in, by the way. That's your Empress, and this is her flower that I picked out for you guys. It's a cute little daisy. Very pretty. So, Empress energy. Let's talk about it while I shuffle. Okay? The Empress, she is basically, she's the mom of the deck. she's that mother energy of nourishment, of like creation, of power, but in like the feminine way of power, where it's gentle, it's loving, it is still authoritative, but it's powerful in a quiet way, in a words over hitting. That's not the word I want to use, but nurture over discipline is what I would say. So yeah, and the Empress card that you got, I really like her because she is very nature related. A lot of her symbolism is all nature. Oh my goodness, you already got so many cards. All right, so the spread I am doing today, I got from, so the spread I'm using today is one that I found on Labyrinthos. They are a tarot resource that has a lot of free spreads for people to just use. So it is only 4 cards, so I will explain as we go, all right? So the first card we have here, this card is the card about giving. What can I give to the world right now? What do I have to give? So this is your to give card, and you have, the Hanged Man. There you go, the Hanged Man in the to give. Oh, I like this, you guys. So with the Hanged Man as your to give card, you have a really unique perspective on the world. You are somebody who doesn't see the world the way everybody else does. You might see a rainbow where other people see rain clouds. You are somebody who sees something weird and says that's beautiful. You're somebody whose perspective is much needed in the world. Maybe you are a minority group or something like that. You're somebody whose voice is really needed, and somebody who has a perspective that a lot of people could benefit from. The way you view the world could be really valuable for other people to know and see. If you're somebody who's really super positive, like we need more positivity in the world for sure. If you're somebody who's like in a minority, like LGBTQ or other marginalized groups, like your perspective on the world and what you see in humanity, the good, the bad, and the ugly, like we need to know that too, because a lot of minorities see parts of the world that are really ugly and really need to get looked at and worked on, and we can't look at and work on those things unless people tell us how it affects them or how it makes them feel, or like shows us their perspective on this thing, right? So you're somebody whose view of the world is different, and it's something that the world needs to hear about. So maybe you want to look into writing down your thoughts about the world. This might be beneficial not only for you to get it out of your head, but also, you know, maybe you want to write a book about it. If you don't want to write a book, even just writing down your thoughts and then articulating them to people around you can really educate people on like how they don't see things the way you see things, and can really like get people out of their own little worlds. And that's really valuable. The more people that come out of their own tiny part of the world, the more unified we become as people and human beings. So that's a really beautiful energy to have to give, is a new perspective. It can really open up eyes of a lot of people, and that's super valuable. So this next card over here, this card is called the To Keep card. It says, what should I keep for myself? What is mine, sovereign, and should be protected and guarded? So you have, as your To Keep, you have the Knight of Cups. Ooh. Aw, that's sweet. So to keep for yourself, the Knight of Cups is the romance knight. He is the knight that saves the lady. He is Robin Hood to Maid Marian. Like, he is the epitome of the romantic figure. The knights also have a lot to do with adolescence. So it's a lot of like this could represent not mature love, but like head over heels kind of love. Not quite puppy dog love, but more the kind of love you have as like a young adult. Where you're like, we're not getting married or anything, but man, I love you because I'm learning and growing with you as a person. And that's very exciting. So anyway, in this pile of yours to keep, what should you be keeping for yourself? At the moment, I'm seeing that like you should be keeping your heart to yourself. Maybe if you've been considering staying single for a while, like if you're in a happy relationship, like this part isn't for you. But if you're somebody who is single and is being pushed to like date or something like that, it might be just fine for you to keep your heart to yourself for a little bit. To just explore the world, enjoy loving yourself first and not having to worry about the needs of another person. It could also be talking about just the love of other like suitors in general. If you're somebody who identifies as monogamous, this would be very like your partner's love. Like you're somebody who at the moment or always, you should keep that for yourself. And that could be sexually, or it could just be you should consider planning with your partner special moments that are just for the two of you, just for you, so that you can recharge your batteries. So if you're somebody who like really recharges on other people, that one special person's love can like take you from I've had the worst day of my life to like this is the most beautiful day ever in like 5 minutes, because you just feel better when you're next to that person. So keeping love for yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have love to give to others. It just means don't pour out your whole cup to others. Be sure that you keep that some love for yourself. Be sure that you are loving yourself and caring for yourself in ways that you would for the other person you love the most. Right? If the if your guides are telling you keep the Knight of Cups, it's saying keep the romance in your heart. Like take it all, suck it all in, and keep it, hold it in a special place in your heart. I don't know why this reference is coming up to me right now, because I'm not a super Bible person anymore. But at one point in the Bible, the Gospels talk about Mary observing all of the things that happened on the night of Jesus's birth, and how many people came to worship him even as a baby. And it says she kept all of these things in her heart. And that is a beautiful, like, Empress energy right there. Like, the ability to remember and hold dear and keep emotions in your heart for the day that you need them, for the day that you need to remember them, for the dark days. That is such Empress energy. To care and maintain those lovely, lovely moments. Those moments that just bring awe and love into your life. Those you should keep for yourself. Okay. I also just saw 12:23 on my clock. I don't know if that's significant to anybody, but there you go. So, now this next card in the middle here, this is to nurture. Your to nurture card talks about what is in process of fruition that I can nourish. What thing inside or outside of me needs my care? So this is really talking about that gardener kind of nourishing, the taking care of, the nurse-like energy of what do I need to put into something to make it better or improve, or that like guardian, nurse, mother energy of nourishing something. So to nourish, what do we need to nourish? You guys have, oh, this is sweet. So we have, this is the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. So, what do we need to nourish, either inside or outside of ourselves? There is something either in your life or in somebody else's life around you that has been a bit of a disappointment, a bit of a bummer, to put it lightly. The feelings that I'm getting from this card to nourish, this is taking care of somebody who has been broken down. Somebody who has suffered a disappointment, or who has suffered some kind of grief, or maybe it's even yourself. If you're feeling sorry for yourself, or if you're feeling betrayed or let down by the world, by the universe, this is to nourish. You need to nourish yourself or others in this time of grief. That doesn't necessarily mean letting somebody wallow in their grief, because this card talks a lot about wallowing. Because there are still 2 cups behind him, he's just not looking at them. Sometimes to nourish means to not like push, but maybe like push. Sometimes to nourish is to pick somebody back up and to dust them off and say, "You got it, champ," and push them back out on the baseball field. So I know that's very like more dad-like energy, but that's what I'm feeling from this card. There's somebody who is grieving and a little sad about some kind of disappointment. And whether it's you or somebody else, you need to, it's time to nourish that person, either in a way that snaps them out of this disappointment and makes them realize that there's more than just this one thing that you could be doing, that you could go for. Or in the more motherly, sweet way of, I'm sorry this happened. Is there anything I can do? Oh, one of the best phrases I heard from, I don't remember where I heard this phrase, but it's when your spouse or somebody comes to you with a complaint, either about work or whatever, or they're sad about something, instead of just launching straight into, I'm gonna fix this, we stop for a second before that and ask, would you like comfort or solutions? This can be a really useful tool to figure out what headspace this person is in. If they are just needing of comfort to feel better, to be able to shoulder on, then that's what we're gonna give them. If they need solutions because they can't see a way out, we'll give them that. But asking the person that question can really help guide the way that you nourish, the way that you supply help to that person, even to yourself. Some days I get back from work and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do anything. And I have to ask myself, do we not want to do anything that we want to do because we're in need of comfort? Or do we need solutions? Do we need to, like, just put on that playlist that makes us clean the house, or put on the or just put on our comfy clothes so that we can do a reading tonight? Or have we just had too much for today? Is our meter full and we just need to be kind to ourselves and tell ourselves we've done all we can for today. We need a bath and we need a snack and we need to go to bed. That kind of nourishing, taking care of your own needs is something that needs to be addressed, is what I'm seeing with this nourish card. Sorry, that was a lot. I hope it made sense to you guys. Okay, so card number 4, this is to pull back. This is the to step back card. Where am I overextending? Where are you giving too much of yourself? Where do you keep saying yes, even if it's hurting you in the long run? So this is our to step back or to pull back card. And the card we have is the Page of Cups. Wow, another card that's kind of about love. And this is significantly about love, this one, you guys. Yeah, I'm really feeling love in this card, because you were asked to keep your heart to yourself a little bit in this card, to pull back, and they give you the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is like childlike love. It's like childlike emotions. They're really fast. They're a surprise. They pop out of nowhere. Sometimes they don't make a lot of sense, and this can really be like puppy love type energy, the Page of Cups. So what I'm seeing and feeling for the Page of Cups here is that you're being asked to take a pause on love, not all love. Like, just where do you always say yes and you need to not, because it's hurting you in the long run. If you're always saying yes to either a partner, or if you're single, to the next date, and you don't even really want to date anyone, like, you're just kind of hurting yourself in the long run, because you don't actually want that. In fact, you want to figure out yourself before you really want a commitment of anything. You're just kind of doing dates because people told you dates are a thing that you should do. Like, you don't need to. this is, if you're somebody who's in a relationship with maybe a difficult person, this is telling you you're a beautiful soul. You have so much love that you give so generously of, but it's time to step back from that difficult person and take a breath, take a moment before you reinvest. Because sometimes people are just having a difficult moment. They're just going through a difficult moment, and sometimes those people are intentionally hurting you. Or maybe not intentionally hurting you, but refuse to correct the behavior. If there is a refusal to correct behavior, this becomes a toxic relationship, which perpetuates horrible things. So, it might be good for you to, instead of jumping into the next thing, instead of throwing your heart at whatever moves, to really examine and look at your relationships and where you want to put your love. It's time to be less of a puppy dog and more of a queen, since we're talking about Empress energy. Less of a puppy, more of a steady, understanding Empress who gives her affections where they're needed. She does not give them freely to everyone. Okay? So, I hope this helped. This is your reading, but the last thing I'm going to do is I got this new deck, which is the Animal Spirit Oracle. The Wild Unknown's Animal Spirit Oracle. There we go. And today I'm going to pull one card for you from it. These are just energies. And I think it will give you one final message from this Empress energy. The reason I picked this deck is the Empress is so very connected to nature. And this deck is just nature on fire. So, I mean, in a good way. Like on fire, like woo, not like on fire, like actual fire. So we're just gonna ask this deck for any parting messages from this Empress energy, whether it's about giving or nurture or keeping or pulling away. So, could we have one last message for group number 1, please? Pretty please. This deck is really pretty. I'm sure you've seen it on other channels if you like tarot. Could we please just get one more message about this need to hold on to our heart a little bit and yet nourish the disappointment, nourish the healing from disappointment, and share our perspective in the world. For pile number 1, please. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, excellent. We have the Cobra. Ooh. I'm pretty sure this is fire energy. I'm gonna read it to you from the book so I will know for sure, but there's our Cobra. Let me just find him in the book and we'll read him to you. Yes, he is fire energy. Wait, this is, right? Yeah, fire. I always get the triangles mixed up. I'm learning. I will eventually get it. I got this deck specifically. One of the reasons I specifically got this deck was so that I would be forced to remember which way the triangles are to represent all the elements. Anyway, so the Cobra. Cobra. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us, in the form of the inner teacher, and manifests externally in those special guides who have led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When this element is in balance, they are a student of life, humble, wise. When out of balance, they are a know-it-all and egocentric. To bring into balance this energy, take a class or study. Oh, I like that. So yeah, maybe there is some learning that needs to be done, especially since we're holding back our heart. Maybe there's some things we need to learn before we invest in anything new, or before we're able to move forward. If you're somebody who's in a current relationship, maybe before we move forward with this relationship, we need to learn some stuff. And you're somebody with a unique perspective. So as a student, you would really pick up some interesting things that maybe not a lot of other people would see. So I hope this reading was really helpful for you guys. I really enjoyed doing it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love you all very much. I hope you have a blessed everything. And this was Pan. Bye, guys. Hi, group number 2s. Welcome to this week's reading. Today we are doing a reading all about the Empress energy. As you can see from your card, the Empress is a very mother-like and nurturing energy. She is all about creation and blooming and loving and nourishing. And so this is the card that drew you in. This is your Empress. And this is the awesome weird little flower that you got, which is from a green onion. Who knew it looked like that? Now I do. It's super weird and cool, and I like it. So this is my everyday tarot deck. It's little, and I like it because it fits in my hands. Okay, so this spread. Okay, so this spread that I'm going to be using today is one from Labyrinthos. They are a website that has a bunch of free tarot reads, as well tarot readings and information and examples, and just, they're just a good website if you're somebody who's looking into tarot. And they're a good resource. So this is their spread that is centered around the Empress energy itself. So there's 4 cards in it. They are to give, to keep, to nurture, and pull back, or to step back. So I will explain that as we get cards. So that's first card, and second card, and third card, and that's too many. I just need one more, please. I like this deck because it's simple and small. Ooh, the last card. There you go. And talkative today. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so one sec. Your first card. This card is about to give. What can I offer the world right now? What do I have to give? So this is the card that you got, and you have the 6 of Wands. Ooh, the 6 of Wands. Now that is interesting. So the 6 of Wands is about victory. It's about being a champion. It's about leading others in a victory parade. So in your area of to give, what do you have to give? I think what you have to give is a very positive attitude. You're somebody who is like, you're not somebody who who rubs winning in people's faces, but you are somebody who wins. You're somebody who, what do you have to give the world? You can give the world a brighter future. You're somebody who can ride forth on your steed and show the world that things are going to get better. What you have to offer the world is a perspective, a positive view of life in general. I think you also just have a lot of drive and determination and gumption to get you all of these victories. I also think because of this card in particular and how normally in this card there's people like all around the horse and the figure, but in this card they're only behind her. So I think what else you have to give is that you are a very good leader. And not only a leader, not a leader in a aggressive, violent way, but you have the ability to make people want to follow you. They just want to because of who you are. I think you also have the ability to lead people with peace and love because you're on this pure white horse and you have the garlands in your hair of peace and the wreath of peace, of victory and peace. Like, you're somebody who leads peacefully. You are somebody who could lead the world into peacefulness. Yeah. So maybe you're a healer, or maybe you're a spiritual leader. Maybe you are just somebody who makes your friend group look at life more abundantly. Even if, like, I'm not going to say even, like, if that's the case, that's awesome. Like, we need more of you. Like, it's an important thing to give the world. It's positivity and wins. We could use that. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing in your to give. So this next card is to keep. What should I keep for myself? What is mine, sovereign, and should be protected and guarded? So this is your card for this. Oh, interesting. We have the Two of Swords. I might have to pull a clarifier on this guy. So, to keep to yourself, Two of Swords. The Two of Swords talks about being of two minds. It also talks about decision making. And perhaps you are a bit stuck in a decision that you have to make. I think this card is trying to tell you that whatever choice you have to make currently, you should not totally keep it to yourself, but really think about who you're going to share this decision with. And I think the universe is saying that this decision is something you have to make. Like, it's a decision or a choice that will really amplify you in one direction or another. So it has to be your choice to do that thing. It can't be somebody else pushing you to do it, or you won't complete it, if that makes sense. This is a dumb example, but for example, I am one of those people that, like, if you tell me to do something, I'm going to want to do the opposite. Especially if I'm angry. It's just a flaw of mine. So, this decision needs to be made fully with you at the helm and not influenced by a lot of other people. It really needs to be your choice to do this thing. Otherwise, or to not do this thing. Otherwise, you will wibble wobble in either direction. Other people's opinions won't help you in this decision. It really needs to be your choice. I'm going to take one clarifier card just to be sure about this, because I feel like this is like, that's how I understand it, but just to be sure your guides don't have anything else that they want to say. This one. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the clarifier card that I pulled is the Chariot, you guys. Yeah, so what I said before about this decision pushing you in a new direction in one way or the other, really amplifying you in some way. Yeah. And because it's a major arcana card, like this decision or choice or whatever it is that you have to make is sent from the heavens. Like this is a fork in the road that's meant to be a fork in the road for you to grow in one direction or another. I don't think that the end result is the point. I think the point of this choice, this decision, is the choice itself. Your guides are trying to get you to own your own power. Keep to yourself your own power. Don't give away your decision-making power to other people. Make the choice for yourself, I think, is really the lesson that your guides are trying to give you. They're trying to make you the head of your own chariot and show that you have the power to guide these two beings that feel like they're in opposition in the direction you want them to go. So you have the power. So keep that power. Don't give it away to other people. Yes, that's what they're saying. So this next card, this is the nurture card. So what is in the process of fruition right now that I can nourish? What thing inside or outside of me needs my care? So this is like the nurse energy, or like the mother energy. What do we need to nourish? What do we need to take care of right now? And you have the Two of Wands. Another two. That is fun. Man, you just must be really on the precipice of something big. So, the Two of Wands talks about travel and opportunity and the contemplation of exploring the world in general. It talks about getting a perspective on things, like getting up above the landscape of your life and seeing what's what is where and what needs to move around. It also, like the Two of Swords, talks about choice. Choice to travel, choice to leave a space and get out into the world. So these two different interpretations of this card could both be something that you have to nurture. It could be, okay, so I listened to this podcast called The Tarot Diagnosis. It's very helpful. One, to learn the energy of cards, but more to get different perspectives on therapy and some hard topics within therapy. So, one of the exercises that one of the therapists on this show like to use is what they call a life audit, where they have their client write down like all of the things in their life that are either causing them stress or joy or whatever. And then putting out all of them on like Post-its to see all of the things out before you. And then narrowing them down to what is really important, or what do you really want to pursue. This life audit is super hard and interesting, and if you are seeing a therapist of some kind, I would suggest asking them about this kind of exercise, because it's very helpful to have somebody else who's trained in things with you to help. But you can do it on your own. And in fact, because we've been talking about keeping our power, maybe it's an exercise you do want to do on your own to like exercise your muscles in decision making. So what I'm seeing here with the Two of Wands of what you need to nourish, I think you need to spend some time on yourself and looking at your life and seeing what belongs and what doesn't anymore. See where you've grown and really give yourself lots of credit for where you've grown, and also look at the dark places and see where growth still needs to occur. This life audit kind of exercise can be really tough because it can show us a lot of flaws in ourselves. It can show us a lot of holes in our life that we weren't aware of, but it could also show you what goals you actually want to pursue and what ones are actually things that people put in your head, like prosperity. Maybe you don't want to be a billionaire. Like, maybe that's just a pipe dream that somebody else told you would be great. And you actually just want a comfortable cottage and peace and quiet. Like, maybe peace and quiet is like up on the top of your needs list as opposed to money. So yeah, yes, I think what needs nourishing in your life is a new perspective, a audit. Yeah. I think that's it. So this last card is the to step back or to pull back card. This card talks about, where am I overextended? Where are you giving too much of yourself? And where in life do you keep saying yes, even if it is hurting you in the long run? So this is the step back card. Here we go. Ready? The card you guys got is, the Four of Swords. Interesting. Yeah, so this card, man, your guides are on a one-track mind today. So this card talks about rest and rejuvenation. It also talks about self-care and that kind of thing. But here in this pile, in this space right here, group numbers 2s, it's in the spot of to step back or to pull back. I think what it is saying is there has been a lot of non-action. There has been a lot of, oh, I wish this was better. Oh, I want that to be better. Oh, why isn't it like this? Oh, I wish, I want this dream. I wish. And a lot of sitting around in the same energy that you've been in for a long time. This might be tough to hear, but I think your guides are saying, where do you need to pull back? You need to pull back on the stagnation. You need to pull back on the whining, the laying down and letting things happen to you energy. We need to take action. A great phrase from the tarot diagnosis is, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you want change, you have to initiate some change. It can be small. Start small. Change is scary. Start with one habit, all right? See where that goes. And then work your way up to the big thing that you're laying down and trying to hide from. Because in this image, it very much looks like this person is playing dead. And you might be trying to roll over and play dead and pretend your alarm's not going off. Pretend that this alarm of, I need a change is not going off. You're like, no, I'm comfortable right here and I'm gonna stay right here. That energy needs to change. Your guides are saying it's time. It's time to put on your big girl pants, since we're talking Empress, and make decisions that are good for you and not influenced by others. Yeah, don't bow to everybody else's needs. This Empress energy is we need to find out what our own needs are and meet those. Because we've been the champion for other people for a really long time, group number 2. It's time to be a champion for yourself. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do for you guys is I have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. And I'm just going to get one last message from this Empress energy. The Empress is very connected to nature. And this deck is all nature, baby. So we're going to get one last parting message about this journey of making decisions that your guides are telling us about. So here we go. Could we get one last message, Empress, about this journey of decision making and life auditing and moving forward, championing, becoming the champion for ourselves, please. One card, please. Just one. I know you like to work in ones. Oh, that's 2. Oh gosh. Just one, please. We're not going to pop for this group, so we're going to pop this way. And we have, the lizard. The lizard. I believe he is fire energy. I'm gonna read it from the book because I can never remember the triangles, but I'm pretty sure he's fire energy. So let's look at the lizard, shall we? Here we go. Here we go. The lizard. Yes, he is fire energy. Lizard. Here we go. Ooh. Okay. Lizard. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, as if it has a sixth sense. The lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain the lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's whispering your name. Ooh, interesting. So this card is actually telling you to do some rest as well. So when in balance, this energy is artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. When out of balance, it is elusive, non-committal, and flaky. Ouch, guides. But thank you. To bring this energy into balance, try a creative project. Interesting. Well, I hope this reading helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed the Empress energy we got today. And I just hope it was really helpful. So, if you liked this video, please push the little thumbsy uppy button, and comment and subscribe to my channel. Those all really help. You could follow me on Instagram, all the things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed everything. Thank you again, group number 2. You got this, I promise. Bye, group number 2. This was Pan. Bye. Hi, group number 3s. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are doing the Empress energy. So this is the Empress that drew you guys in. She is beautiful. She is a saint. I can't remember which saint, but she's a saint. So that's your Empress, and this is your flower that pulled you in today. It's a beautiful little flower that came off a tree, and it smells nice. And I think it must be very sweet because the bees love them, and they're a little bit sticky. So that is your card. I am going to shuffle her back into the deck real quick. So the spread that we're doing today is all about Empress energy. It is a spread from Labyrinthos, which is a free tarot resource site. They have a lot of reading spreads. They have a lot of information. They just tell you what the cards mean. They're very helpful, and they're free. So if you're trying to learn, they're a good resource. And a lot of their stuff is on Pinterest, so that's also nice. So this spread that I'm going to do, there's 4 cards in it. The card to give, to keep, to nurture, and to pull back. We will talk about each of them as I pull them. Okay? So, here we go. Could you please, Empress energy, give us some messages for my group number 3s? Ooh, that one flew right off the table. Hold, please. Ugh. I had to bend over very far to get it. So, that's our card number 1. We need 3 more cards, please. Oh, again, right off the table. Man, your deck is fiery today. Really talky. 2. And I'm feeling this. So 3 and 4. Excellent. So here we go. Are you guys ready? I love the Empress energy. So let's get on with it. Let's go. So this first card is to give. What can I offer the world? What can I offer to the world right now? And what do I have to give? So the card that you got in this position is the 8 of Wands. Ooh, I like this. So this is an interesting card here because the 8 of Wands, it talks about, excuse me. The 8 of Wands talks about fast moving events. It talks about really quickly moving story or events or messages coming in rapidly. So the way I'm reading this card in this position is that you are somebody who, when you enter somebody's life, their life speeds up. You're like a catalyst, which is the thing in a scientific experiment that makes the explosion happen, right? You're, I'm feeling like real jittery from this group, so maybe you guys are like a firebrand. You're somebody who inspires people. That's what it is. Inspiration. You are somebody who gives so much inspiration to people. When you enter people's lives, their lives speed up because you are going at 100 miles a minute, and for them to keep up with you, they gotta move. You're an inspiration to people. That's what you give. You give inspiration. You give forward movement. You give the push for people to be their best selves. You're a pusher. But I know a lot of people use that in a bad way, but this is in a good way. You're the mom that's like, you should try that thing, honey. You really should try that thing. Just try it. Just try it. Just try it. And then the kid tries it and they're like, wow, I really love this thing. And your mom's like, yeah, I know you would. Duh. It's like your whole personality. So, like, for example, my mom pushed my brother and I to learn musical instruments. Now, I hated learning the piano. Totally despised it. I don't know piano to save my life this day. But that led me to taking voice lessons, which is like a huge part of who I am now. I love to sing, and singing like rejuvenates my soul. And if my mom hadn't pushed me into music a little bit, I probably wouldn't have gone there. You know? Like, yeah. She just saw in us the innate love and ability for music and pushed us to do something with it. And so now both of us are in creative fields. Both me and my brother. So you're a pusher. You're somebody who pushes people to be their best, to be their most inspired. And that's awesome. Thanks, guys. So this next card is to keep. What should I keep for myself? What is mine, sovereign, and should be protected and guarded? And you have, oh my gosh, you guys have the Ace of Wands. Oh, this is so sweet. So I think the reason why you push other people to follow their passions is because you have your own passion. You have your own thing that lights your fire, that you want to do, that you feel driven to do, that is pushing you so fast. And this gift, whatever it is, I think your guides are saying that it is a blossom of endless opportunity for you. It's also, it's something that's sacred to you. It's unique to you. And like, you need to embrace that and give yourself the admiration and love for that talent that you would give to other people. Like, you're the person that inspires other people to follow their dreams because maybe you're not following yours, or because you see so much potential in them, and you can see that end goal for them, and you know that they're just feeling self-doubt. You need to do that same thing for yourself. This beautiful energy of pushing people to be their best selves. You need to use that beautiful gift on yourself to inspire yourself. Because any self-doubt that you have about this dream, about this passion, this hobby, this whatever it is, that thing that brings joy to your life, any self-doubt that you have about that thing, it would disappear in an instant if somebody did for you what you do for other people. So you need to do it for yourself as well. Right? I hope that makes sense. Yeah. This gift is sovereign unto you. You have to give yourself credit for for having it. It's unique unto you. You have to recognize it as a beautiful passion and gift and give it enough weight. Give it the weight it deserves. Don't belittle it. Keep it in your heart. Keep it for yourself. Like, share it if it's meant to be shared, but keep that knowledge that this is yours. You made it. You made this happen in your heart. Because if you do, I think you'll be unstoppable. You did this thing. You did this dream. You're unstoppable. Okay? So, card number 3. This is to nourish. What is in the process of fruition now that I can nourish? What thing inside or outside of me needs my care? So this is that mothering energy of care and nourishing and just loving and, you know, all the gushy things that moms are. So we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords popped up in group number 2 as well. So I don't know if that's significant or not, but here you go. Two of Swords. There's so much fire in your pile. Even this Two of Swords has fire all over it. It's crazy. Actually, this whole reading has had a lot of, the whole video in general has had a lot of fire energy to it. I think Empress just has a fiery spirit tonight. So, what am I seeing? To nurture. The Two of Swords talks about a decision, a choice. And this particular card has a lot going on, like a lot of danger surrounding this person who's just holding 2 swords and waiting instead of leaping into action and fighting the Hydra that's behind her. It's hard to see, but there's a little Hydra back here. Or escape from the fires that are all around her. Her decision has immobilized her. It has kind of frozen her in time. So, yeah, to nourish yourself. I think you need to look at this moment of stagnation, of this moment of indecision, as a life or death situation, almost. Like, she is definitely in a life or death situation, and she is just sitting there. This decision needs to be made. This choice needs to be made. It needs to be made fast. It needs your attention. It needs your care and attention. So normally in this card, the person is blindfolded. This one is not. She is just purposefully shutting her eyes and shutting out everything around her to hold and hide behind these 2 swords. I think to nourish yourself, to care for yourself, to even care for the things around you, you need to open your eyes. You need to see the danger around you. You need to see it, understand it for what it is, and make a decision about it instead of just sitting in the flames. You're sitting in the flames that could destroy you, and you're refusing to look at them. This is a big denial. I feel a lot of denial. So to nourish yourself, we really need to take a look at that denial and figure out, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing something? Are you afraid that something might go right? That's not an illegitimate fear. Like, if you've lived in a state of chaos for a lot of your life, and suddenly you are presented with the opportunity to have peace, it's a scary choice. Like, our body is now conditioned to live in chaos. Being afraid of peace is not a uncommon reaction to this. The body needs to totally readjust to a sense of safety and love after being in such chaos. So I think I'm gonna suggest therapy as usual, but I think there needs to be some care and thought given to, what am I afraid of? And delve into those whys, and then turn away from those whys and say, but what can I do now? Like, what is the next step to pull myself out of this fear, out of this denial? That's what needs your attention right now, and that's what needs your nourishment. That's what you need to pour this inspirational spirit of yourself, this passion that is just the essence of you. You need to pour that into this. And whoever you are, I think you'll just know what this is. It could be anything. It could be something silly. It could be something big. It could be the end of a relationship. It could be the beginning of a new job. It could be you found love. You found disappointment. It could be the decision to move on. It could be the decision to stay. It could be any of these. But the decision itself needs analysis. It needs a firm look with love and compassion for yourself, because you've put yourself in this state of denial for a reason, and it's because it's really hard. It's a really hard place to be in. So you're denying it so that you don't have to be in as hard of a place. And that is natural, and that is normal. You should not feel shame or guilt about that. I don't want to say should. You shouldn't should yourself. But there needs to be a recognition, an acceptance, and a desire to move forward. Or not, depending on your situation. I hope that helped. Okay, so this last card is number 4. This is the to step back card. This is the to pull back card. Where am I overextending? Where are you giving too much of yourself? Where in life do you keep saying yes, even when it's hurting you in the long term? Okay, this one might be hard. It's been hard for a couple groups now. So here we go. We have the Judgment card. Woo! Judgment. Judgment is a hard card in general, at least for me, because it has so many connotations. But here we go. Judgment, to pull back. This could have 2 different meanings. I'm going to tell you both of them, and you take what resonates with you. That means you listen to what I'm saying, and if you don't feel that is you let it go. It wasn't meant for you. And if you feel like that is you accept the message and try to do something with it. Okay? So that's what resonate means. Anyway, the Judgment card talks about judgment, obviously, but it also talks about revelations, like big things being shown to somebody, higher powers revealing things. that have been hidden, or people having revelations and from their own higher self. Where do you need to step back? So where do you always say yes? This could be talking about your own sense of judgment on other people. You might be somebody that, because you're a pusher, you could be somebody that pushes people, and when they don't respond well to the push, you see them as a failure, or you see them as somebody who's just not motivated and useless, or that's harsh, but your judgment on other people can sometimes be extremely harsh. And it's keeping you from having connections with people that could help you in the long run. You're saying yes to your sense of black and white, your sense of good, bad and good, and ignoring the fact that there are shades of gray. This can really make you somebody people either love or hate, and nothing in between. And it could depend on your mood that day. So we might need to take a step back from our sense of ego, self-righteousness, judgment. We need to analyze our own behavior in these areas and kind of reevaluate and see and start to have more compassion for others. So that's the version of it being about your actions with others. The second interpretation that I'm getting from this card is this is talking about your judgment on yourself. This is talking about self-shame, self-deprecation, self-loathing. This is a thing that maybe has, it is a coping mechanism that a lot of survivors of trauma have or abuse have, because it protects them in a way from the abuse, either by mitigating, always trying to meet other people's needs and shaming yourself into doing that, or by making you so good at anticipating people's needs that you can avoid the abuse. But I think this card is talking about our own sense of shame, our own sense of judgment on ourselves. That this is an area of self-think, self-talk that needs examining and needs to be stepped away from. This is the voice inside of your head that says you're not good enough, that you're not loved, that you're not worthy of love. And it is a thing that is actively keeping you away from your passions and away from people who could be helping you, because you think you're not worthy of them. But you are. You so are. You're so worthy. And this mindset of self-shame and judgment, I think, is brought up by your guides as its own revelation, so that you can work on it, so that you can start to love yourself the way that Empress does. She sees her worth, she sees her value, and she is not ashamed of it. And she is not ashamed of her being. She is a sexual and beautiful being, and she is allowed to be that way because she knows her worth and her power. And nobody can tell her otherwise. So, yeah, I think that's the message here of we need to pull back from shame and self-destruction. Okay. So, the last thing that I am going to do for you is I have this new deck. This is a new oracle deck called the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So, this deck is connected to nature, and the Empress energy is very connected to nature. She is like all of the nature because she is the mother, she is the creator, she is, yeah, so she is interwoven with nature. So this deck is all nature. So we're going to ask this deck for one final message from our Empress energy, and that will be a reading. So could you please give us one? Oh, thank you. That was like really fast. Okay, so, oh, you guys got the dragonfly. I believe this is air, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. I have to look. I can never remember the triangles. I got this deck specifically to help me remember the triangles. So, here we go. The dragonfly. I'm going to read it to you out of the book. I believe that is, I think that triangle's air. Pretty sure. Are you air? Yes. I was right. It's air. All right. So, here we go. Where are you, dragonfly? They're not in alphabetical order in the book, so, here they are. All right. Dragonfly. Master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in awe. Inspiration. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it is worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Guys, are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light and wisdom can shine through. All right, and when this energy is in balance, they see clearly, joyfully, and they're magical. When they're out of balance, they can't concentrate and have a very busy mind. To bring this energy into balance, focus on the breath. So you guys might want to look into meditation or breath work, or even just taking one deep breath and learning to breathe properly. As a singer, you breathe with your diaphragm, everybody. Breathe like babies do with their bellies. It's the best way, through your nose. Okay? So, I hope this reading helped you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps me. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you have a blessed everything. Thank you so much for being here with me, group number 3s. Okay, that's all. Bye, you guys. This was Pam. Hi, group number 4s. Welcome to this week's reading. Today we are talking about the Empress energy. So we're doing a spread all about the Empress. And yeah, so this is your card. This is the Empress that you picked. This is a new deck to me. This is the Dark Forest Tarot. It's very shiny. Here, there we go. See the rainbows? So that's your Empress card, and this is the flower you picked. It is a beautiful rose. Isn't she pretty? So, put your rose right there. This reading is all about the Empress energy. The Empress, her energy is very, it has to do with being a mother. It has to do with being a creator. It has to do with feminine power. And feminine doesn't necessarily refer to the binary gender. It refers to an energy, a kind of energy. So you can be a male person and still have lots of feminine energy, or vice versa. All the things. You could be all the things and still have lots of feminine energy. So the spread I'm using today is actually from a website called Labyrinthos. They are a free tarot website that has a lot of information and readings and spreads and just what the cards mean. So it's a good resource if you're somebody who's trying to learn tarot and do it on a budget. So here we go, our reading about the Empress. I'm very excited to use this new deck. It was a birthday present, and she is a beautiful deck. Do those two cards want to come? 1, 2. One more shuffle. Nope, okay. But she does not pop very easily. She likes to be separated. Oops, sorry. I'm going to show you each of these cards as I explain what they mean in the reading, all right? So, here we go. So, here's the reading. We have the to give card, to keep card, to nurture card, and to pull back card. So, I will explain as we flip over the cards and show you, all right, guys? So, this first card is the to give card. To give, what can I offer the world right now? What do I have to give? So, the card that you guys got is the 10 of Pentacles. Ooh. Wow. That's amazing. So, the 10 of Pentacles is a card about riches, and not any riches. Riches like winning the lottery type riches. It refers to more of wealth built over generations and wealth enough to leave to your many children. It's often depicted as an old man with lots of family around him, and sometimes dogs. Anyway, the 10 of Pentacles is all about an abundance, a crazy abundance, like a lot. So, what I'm seeing is something that you have to give the world. You have means, whether that is actual money, or it is skills or abilities, or even just a wealth of knowledge. What you have to give is you have a lot. You have a lot to give. Maybe you have generational wisdom to pass on, because this card does talk about passing things on. I feel like you have a lot of wisdom to give to either people younger than you or your same age. Just, you've had a lot of life experience that has led you to now when you have the knowledge and the like, you've been through enough things that your knowledge will be very useful to other people. you've experienced it all, you've seen it all, so you know what to do. This shouldn't give you too big a head, but it is like you have a lot to give, whether it is financial or material, like whether it's material or immaterial. You have an overabundance of something to give the world. I know I keep saying something. It's because like this card has to do, because it's pentacles, pentacles often have to do with actual material things. But I know that not everyone is blessed with material things. So I'm trying to think of other ways that this relates to an abundance. And I really do feel wisdom is a big one. It could also, yeah, wisdom seems to be the thing that it is being told to me right now, because we have the moon in here, and the moon is all about hidden things, hidden secrets, hidden knowledge. And we also have what looks like a crown. So I'm really seeing, oh, you're crowned with wisdom. You have a lot of it to give to the world. So you should. I'm sorry, excuse me, my cat needs to be let in. Hi, group number 4s, I'm back. So, this next card over here, this is the to keep card. What should I keep for myself? What is mine, sovereign, and should be protected and guarded? So, this is what should we keep to keep. And the card you got is the King of Pentacles. Ooh. I like this. So, King of Pentacles. A lot of earth energy in this pile. So, what do we need to keep? The King of Pentacles is a wise, he's nearly always pictured as one of the older kings. The King of Pentacles is the most sturdy and reliable of the kings. They're often depicted with a lot of nature because it is an earth element. He's also somebody who is measured, I'll say. Somebody who is measured and patient and steadfast. And a king is always the master of their element. So the pentacles are the element of material, wisdom, and material things. The King of Pentacles, to keep. This could indicate like a person in your life. This could indicate a reliable friend or neighbor or teacher or something like that, or best friend. Somebody who's so steadfast and reliable that I don't want to say keep them for all to yourself, but they're a friend that like you should really invest time into, because they are somebody who is worth keeping. There's somebody who is steadfast, reliable, in control of themselves, full of wisdom, that are worth having in your life, and are going to be a very helpful and grounding presence in your life. If this isn't a person, I'm going to say that the thing that your guides want you to keep is they want you to keep your head about you. Which is such a weird thing to say, but they want you to keep your feet on the ground. The King of Pentacles, though he knows his worth and he is like a really wealthy king, and he's got a lot of power and all that stuff, he is the king that all of the people love. I've seen him related a lot to kings like King Arthur or kings like Solomon. Actually, Solomon is a much better example, how he got all of this wealth, but was also beloved by his people because of his great wisdom. In fact, his wisdom was so great that it was heralded throughout the land. Bless you, Magus. So, I think that the King of Pentacles, your guides are trying to tell you what you need to keep, what is sacred unto yourself. I believe it is your peace of mind. It's your peace of mind and your sense of belonging, home, and grounding. Sorry, my cat is sneezing all over everything. Thank you, bub. Bless you. So, the King of Pentacles, I believe your guides want to keep a place of peace and serenity for yourself. Also keep a place in your heart for being there for yourself, like showing up for yourself. Whether that means doing your therapy every week, or whether it means eating healthy, or going to the doctor regularly, or I don't know, maybe you haven't seen the dentist in like a million years. Like, this steadfastness, this groundedness, this is also a message of knowing your worth and taking care of yourself. So I think your guides are saying, find a place of zen, find a place of groundedness, find a place where you feel fully at home and to yourself, and make sure that you keep it sacred for yourself. However that looks to you. All right, keeping your body healthy, or taking the time to meditate, or taking the time to keep your mind in check by going to therapy, or I don't know, maybe you have a creative hobby that keeps you grounded, like singing or writing, or maybe it's just walking in nature, because the King of Pentacles is a big nature person. So maybe it is connecting with nature and finding the time to keep that time, that whatever fills up your cup, whatever nourishes you and makes you feel sturdy and grounded and know that you are a wise, powerful being, make sure you make the time for you. Show up for yourself. Yes. Wow, that was a long circle, but I think we ended up getting there. So, this next card, this is the To Nurture card. This card talks about to nurture. What is in the process of fruition that I can nourish? What thing inside or outside of me needs my care? So, this card really talks about the motherly, or the instinct to nurture or nourish living things, or yourself even. So, here's the card that you got for this part, and we got Judgment. Ooh, interesting. These cards are so shiny. I hope you guys can see it. Anyway, that's your card, Judgment. So, to nourish, what needs nourishment? Judgment. So, Judgment talks about revelations from higher consciousnesses, whether that is a deity that you believe in, or your higher self, or your future self, or your guides, or angels, or aliens, whatever it is. This this card in particular, this deck in particular, actually this card showed up in my Instagram reading for this same topic, which is interesting. But the Judgment card in this deck really talks about revelations and realizations, seeing things for what they are and seeing through illusion, a reckoning, if you will. So I believe there is some part of your life, either with other people or just within your own mind, that need some looking at, that needs some revelations, that needs some realizations, that might need a good firm hand of judgment. It might be time in your life for you to take a look at your life or at your relationships or at what you're doing with your time and make some firm judgments about what is worth your time and what is not worth your time. And this does not have to be about productivity. Like, the thing doesn't have to produce anything for it to be worth your time. Meditation doesn't necessarily produce anything, but it is worth your time because it changes how your mind works. It calms and soothes the mind. I have a really hard time with it. I don't do it very much. My meditation is doing the cards, like working with the cards. This is how I meditate. So where was I going with that? So, Judgment. I think the thing that needs your attention, needs your care, needs your nourishment is weeding out the things that are no longer viable or serving you. This card also talks about, it talks about the rapture or the end of times. At least traditionally it does, because all of the imagery of the original tarot cards is based in Catholicism. So there is a lot of history with this card being about the end of times and about the Christian souls rising from the dead to go to heaven and be with Jesus, and other souls being condemned. So this is a time for you to really become God in that situation. Like, it's time for you to take your life into your own hands and be a firm judge. Be a fair judge, but judge what is staying, what is going. Because I think there are things in your life that are upending you. If your guides are talking about there's a need to ground and stay grounded, there are things that are upsetting your progress. And those things are things that probably need to go. Yeah. But it's also a card about revelation and realization. And I think it could be talking about listening to your intuition, because I actually just listened to a podcast about synchronicity today, and there's a lot of synchronicities in our life that could just be explained away, are just probably coincidence, but there's always something that lines up in a way that makes you go, I don't believe that just happened. That's too weird. Why would that happen right now? Why would that happen this way? I think you need to pay attention. Pay attention in those moments, because somebody, whether it's your guides or an angel or a past loved one or somebody is trying to get your attention, to draw your attention to something that is going to reveal to you a truth or a truth about yourself or about your life that needs to be addressed before you can move forward in your life. I think that's all I'm going to say on this. I might have said it a little better in my Instagram reading. There was a little blurb about this card in my Instagram reading. So if you want to check that out, please do. It's only 3 little cards, but yeah, so I'm going to move on. The next card that we have here, this card is to pull back, to step back. Where am I overextending? Where are you putting too much of yourself? Where in your life do you keep saying yes, even when it's hurting you in the long run? Okay, so this is the card you have, and we have the Queen of Swords. Ooh. The Queen of Swords. Interesting. So, this could be a person. It could be somebody who's very powerful in your life. Somebody who is So a lot of people give the Queen of Swords a bad rap and call her a bitch because she says what she means and she just says whatever. Not whatever. She says shit. And she does not apologize for it. That can be a very good or a very bad thing depending on how you use it for good or harm. So this could be a very powerful person in your life that keeps pulling you in, keeps pulling you to a place of darkness or a place of harsh words, because the swords are talk about words and thoughts. This could be somebody who continually is bringing you to a place of harm. And it's somebody who's able to draw you in no matter how many times you say no, or no matter how many people tell you this person is not good for you. Somehow this person keeps drawing you in. That could be one interpretation of this. The other interpretation I'm seeing here is that I'm still going to take the shadow aspect of this card and say that this could be your own mind. Your own mind telling you things that are not helpful. Like, maybe that's true. Maybe I could die in a car accident, but that's not helpful right now while I'm trying to drive this car. Like, you keep revisiting old thought patterns, old ways of thinking that keep dragging you down, that keep pointing out the negative, that keep pushing you towards darkness instead of towards light, that keep banging you off of your groundedness, that tell you that you don't have an abundance of wisdom. These thought patterns are really hard to break, and they're something that we develop over time based on the experiences we have in life. And breaking negative thought patterns is really hard, and I know it doesn't feel like we have control sometimes, but sometimes we do. And being able to recognize when things are happening, like when we are entering into a state of negative or anger or something like that, recognizing that we are going into this state and disrupting it somehow, that could be taking a deep breath, focusing on a flame. It could be something as silly as putting your face in ice water or dancing around the kitchen. Like, anything to disrupt this pattern. It could be to change up the music you're listening to. This is how you say no to this energy of negative, cutting words in your own mind. You have to disrupt the cycle. And that's really hard. And I know it's really hard, and it's a habit and a pattern that has to be established over a lot of time. But your guides are saying it's time to start. Because the first step has to, you have to, you won't go anywhere if you don't take the first step. As somebody I listened to on a podcast says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you have to start the change, even if it's small, even if it's just once this year that you are able to disrupt your thinking pattern of negativity towards yourself, or negativity towards others, or judgment, or shame, or anger. Even if you just disrupt it once this year, that would be a step. And a step is further than you've ever been before. There's this moment in Lord of the Rings, in the actual movies, where Sam and Frodo are going through a field, and suddenly Sam just stops dead in the field, and he's like, I don't know if I can. And Frodo's like, what do you mean? And he's like, if I take one more step, it's the furthest from home I've ever been. And Frodo takes his hand, and they take one more step. And then they go so far, and they save a whole world. This is that moment for you. If you take one more step, you'll be furthest from home you've ever been. But it's a path, it's a step you need to take. It's the step to start the journey. It's just the start. And there's such great, wonderful, abundant things waiting for you at the end of this path. And I'm so excited for you, actually, because that one step out of familiarity into the unknown is it's an adventure. It's the end of the rainbow, and you won't get there if you stay still. Okay? Hope that made some sense. I hope that helped. So the last thing I'm going to do for you guys is I have this Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guide, Oracle, sorry. And I'm using this deck because the Empress energy is very connected to nature. And I'm feeling and this deck is just so naturey. So, and he does like to give one final awesome message at the end of readings. So, we are getting one last message from this Empress energy, please. One last message for my group number 4s about this journey they're making to change their thinking, to reveal new things to themselves that they haven't thought of before. Oh, okay. So, you guys got the Scorpion. I believe this is fire energy. I'm going to have to check. I always forget what the triangles mean. But I'm going to read you this one out of the book. All right? So, Scorpion. That's exciting. I'm also hearing that maybe you're a Scorpio. Just because you got the Scorpion. Anyway, so here it is, Scorpion. Let's see, they are fire. Yes. So, Scorpion, passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are their few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When this energy is in balance, it's wild and free and fierce. When it's out of balance, it is jealous, resentful, and unresolved. To bring into balance, we need to find honesty and forgiveness. I really like that message for you guys. Well, I hope this made sense. This one was a bit of a rambling one, but thank you so much for being here, group number 4s. Thank you for listening to this reading with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. Check out my Instagram reading of this. It's not the same spread, but it is the same Empress energy because we are exploring the major arcanas and all the things they have to offer. So, yeah, check that out. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed everything. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.